Well, good morning, everyone. It is today, Friday, the 25th of April. Had to look there, kind of out for a minute. All righty, let's see if this going here. We got Alex, it looks like. All righty, that's working. Well, good morning.
How goes it?
Well, it's going pretty well. It's a little chilly over here in California.
Oh, I'm sure it's just a freezy 5 degrees.
No, not quite that cold.
That's bikini weather.
Yeah, I know for you guys. Although as many years as I spent up in Winter Park, Colorado, that was cold. I am not a fan of the cold. All right, let's say good morning to some people. Let's see who we have this morning. Well, there he is. Good morning.
Morning. Had to get my background apropos.
Oh, it just looks sweet. It does. Well, good morning, Lisa Maria. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Cindy Hayden. Good morning, Sherry. We have, oh, it looks like James is here. You want to bring him?
I'm working.
King's Girl, 1974. Good morning, King's Girl. Glad you could make it. Oh, wow, we got everybody piling in here.
I'm on it, man.
Good morning, Dave. James. Good morning, Adam. No responding.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me fix my background.
There we go. All right. And I guess it must be Friday. It's a little bit of a slow roll getting things going this morning.
Remember a minute to even remember what day it was.
Oh, I know. It's Friday. What do you want from me? Good morning, James.
Good morning, sir.
How goes the battle?
Well, we got a little bit of rain last night out of the field, but needed some good sleep. Ready to rock and roll.
Do you guys can't plant if it's raining or has just rained?
It's muddy. No. You can't drive a tractor off into mud.
Oh,
you can, but it's like out with a 100-foot planter is kind of tough.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, needless to say, we don't do a whole lot of planting here in Los Angeles, California.
Right.
Morning, Dave.
Morning, guys.
How goes the battle, brother?
Driving over here.
Good. Is it raining over there too?
No, we had a little bit of showers this morning, but not light stuff. So.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Going now.
All right. We have Dawn the Fifth here. Cindy is here. Just like Button is here. Good morning, Jason Boones. Sherry from East Tennessee. Welcome. All right. Let's kick this thing here. Alex, let's kick the tires and light the fires. What do we got going?
S&P 500 pretty much even at a plus 0.54%. Dow down 215, up 69. Gold down. I say down. That's so funny. To 83 an ounce. Oil sitting at $62 a barrel. For the crypto markets, small and steady gains. Bitcoin at 95, Ethereum 1800, both up 2%. XRP sitting at 221. And some others like Hedera. There's been a few others that have had 6 to 10%. Sui's up 12%. So kind of a mixed bag of today.
Yeah. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me like there is an awful lot of chatter about XRP, where it's going, what's happening with it. I mean, I don't claim to be some sort of, look at James, he's dancing already. I mean, what's your take? Are you seeing a bunch of that too?
I am watching XRP like a hawk, and it's there's a lot of speculation of why the price is suppressed, and I watched a couple different videos on why there is suppression, and some people speculate that the private ledger and the public ledger are going to merge, and as soon as their testing is complete. And the part that interests me more is, one speculate, is it the government that's the money, so it's going to allow the people a chance to get in? Are they purposely holding it low? So when they do merge, they're going to say what the real price is. It's kind of hard to tell. my belief, I think it's going to explode once everybody in July is compliant with 20022. Once they're compliant, I think it's just going to go gangbusters.
Alex, what's your thoughts?
We touched on this the other day. XRP is an existential threat to the money-making powers of all financial institutions that charge fees. So
Right.
I'm not surprised that there's a fight, that there's a backroom dealings and manipulation and those things. And I don't know that that's price manipulation. I think they're holding the floodgates as long as they possibly can, but it's inevitable.
Yeah, Adam, what do you?
You know, it goes right along with what the other two boys have said. I mean, XRP has the capacity to completely replace the SEC, the central bank. It has the ability to a conventional retail bank. Now, whether that's the one that does not, I don't know if XRP will. But the fact of the matter is that it has cross-border contracts. It has, it's compliant with all the precious metals backing of the system. So, again, I'll just reiterate what Alex said. It's inevitable. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, sure seems that way to me. All right, interesting. There seems to be a lot of chatter about it. Dave, do we have an agriculture and farming report?
Pretty quiet on the home front. Not much going on. It's even across the board. They're doing some poultry deal, but all in all, it's just normal business. So
Okay, cool. It's kind of nice. Not having anything drastic happen is kind of nice, especially on a Friday.
yeah.
03 USMC Sergeant said some. Oh, and by the way, everyone, it is Friday, so it is Donut Friday. If you want to help contribute to making our daily goal, that would be wonderful.
And 50s, please. Sam needs to dance.
Yeah, exactly. Scratch 65 is here. Donna Fox is here. Good morning. John Gwynn is here. Good morning, John. Franny Dragonfly is here. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, John. Thank you, Towie, for all the donuts. Mrs. Deadpool is here. Hoo-hoo. That sounds a little scary to me. Kim 50. Yeah, I know. Kim B50 is here. Good morning, Kim B. And Share Baby 29. All right. James, do we have a military report?
We do. Kind of exciting today. I suppose a little better than a week ago, we talked about Colonel Baez Ramirez over in Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, turning pictures of the commander-in-chief, the vice president. Pete Hicks has pictures around in her military base, and she has officially been removed today.
Good.
She is out. The Houthi rebels, up to this point, have shot down US Reaper drones worth about $200 million in the recent weeks, and it's becoming the most dramatic cost of this conflict. You're talking about $28.5 million. So the U.S. answers with this increased dramatic weapons or downing of these drones. So they've increased bombings to command and control facilities, air defense systems, advanced weapon manufacturing facilities, and their storage facilities, and to include 100 Houthi fighters and leaders. Total structural count, over 800 drones. We fly at altitudes of 40,000 feet or higher. The ones that they shot down were obviously not above 40,000 feet because they don't have that capability to take us down.
Mm.
The collateral damage, 70 civilians. We are employing civilian harm mitigation practices. So we're trying to keep that collateral down as much as humanly possible.
Right.
I guess the success note on that is every drone strike that they've tried to commit to the U.S. Naval Force has equaled zero contact. So we've shot everything down they put it out.
James, do we know what weaponry they're using? If they gotten a hold of some of ours that maybe just disappeared out of Afghanistan or some of these other
It didn't
places?
disappear. It was left.
And I know we left it. What I'm saying is, did somebody decide in the whole chaos that, I'm just going to take this set of Stingers, whatever else out?
Well, Adam, it's interesting you bring that point up because one can speculate, but by the time a drone shot down, I don't think we're gonna put any divers out there to try and find out where it came from.
No, exactly. But
It's entirely possible. I don't know exactly the cache that was taken from Afghanistan or was given away. I would believe they're getting some of their stuff from China.
Right.
China's a big producer of drones, but our technology is made here in the United States.
Right.
Quite frankly, we have technology better than anyone else. You just don't know how great our technology is.
Exactly.
You can't get it on the TikTok shop.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, let me get
Sorry, go ahead.
a camera adjustment there. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Well, let's jump over into. Oh, sorry. Did I miss something?
No, I didn't know on it. I didn't know if James still had the rest of his report to go over for you.
Oh, is there more, James?
The only other thing is we need to be reminded that the southern border protection is still going on with the presence of the United States military. That protect arm is about 2,000 miles long. Right now we have 12,000 troops that are there, and a bunch of those are becoming U.S. Marines.
Wow.
I regret to say U.S. Marines, but they're there. They started as just present for duty. Now they are armed.
Okay.
So if you go to Terry.com, one of the top articles right now is 48 hours with Marines and soldiers southern border. Definitely worth a listen.
Okay, cool. All right. So let's see here. Donna Fox, John Gwynn, Telly Bixby, thank you for all. John Gwynn again. Rosie, thank you for the donut. Terry is here as well. We have Stacy Hazellit is here as well. All right, you guys. So let's jump over to some of the Daily Disc articles. So Pakistan announced an immediate suspension of all trade with India, including goods routed through third countries. And then that was immediately followed up by if I can get this thing to work here. Sorry, technical problems, everybody. Bear with me. Let's see here. All right. So India and Pakistan canceling visas for their nationals. Now, it was kind of my speculation this morning that we are going on over in the Middle East. Is this really a major issue that is not being brought to the forefront? Are they using the Middle East to distract us from what's happening in India and Pakistan? Because both of them are nuclear armed countries, aren't they? And if they are, that's a serious deal. Alex, what do you think?
Well, I think it's just mad that Apple just announced you're going to ship all U.S. iPhone production to India. 100% I mean, why would we report on just and things going on in states when we have something a boogeyman somewhere else to report? I think they'll work it out amongst those conflicts and those governments have been working it out amongst themselves for thousands of years, and we need to focus on our own border and focus on us right now.
Right, I agree. Dave, what are your thoughts?
Well, I remember, I think it was in India here last week, meeting with Trump tariffs.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's any conflict either, involved in that. Pakistan's on the side of who,
Right. Adam?
I'm still waiting to see what's going to play out because it could be something. It could be a distraction in and of itself, waiting in the wings. So I saw that this morning. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave the jury out until I see more.
Yeah. James, what are your thoughts?
The Thunder Seekers have stolen again. I got nothing more to add to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
All right, well, let's move over to the New York Post. And I wish Captain Graybeard was here. I'd like to kind of tap on him, but the Trump administration will boost Gulf of America oil production by 100,000 barrels. Now, I don't know, is 100,000 barrels, is it just a drop in the bucket? I mean, what type of production happens on a daily basis, Al? Yeah.
Is it like 2.1 or something? I think in my head.
I think that's right.
2.1, I think. So that's what, 5%?
2.1 million barrels. So 100,000 is a significant amount.
Per day, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, interesting. Now, Alex, what did you say crude oil was at? 62. We were up at 7. We dropped down to 58. Now we're back up to 62. I'm wondering if this 100,000 barrels will affect the cost of crude in the short term.
I don't think 100,000 barrels is a drop in the bucket.
Yeah. Yeah.
The world production it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's a step in the right direction.
Right. Of course.
It has to be probably a contribution to our emergency reserve, though.
Right. 29 just said breaking per MSN, which I saw this morning. Milwaukee, Hannah Dugan arrested for helping undocumented immigrant. Now it's all over the news wires. Thank you, Share Baby, for saying that. It's all over the news wires. FBI has arrested a judge. Is this going to be? Are we beginning to see the perp walks? Are we beginning to see the chrome bracelets? I don't want to get my hopes up too much.
And let's not forget that yesterday Trump came out and said he ordered the Justice Department to investigate. Man, I am telling you,
It's Friday. It's okay.
Trump's Justice Department investigate Democrat top fundraising platform. Drum roll.
Act Blue.
Black blue.
Yep. Yeah, that I can't believe that did not get more press when that was released. That Act Blue did.
Who broke that? O'Keefe broke that, didn't he?
Why would the Democratic media on their downfall? Come on.
Yeah, no, I know. It just that seems like a big deal to me.
But didn't Patrick O'Keefe break that on going to people's houses and say, hey, how much have you donated? Have you donated $30,000? No, I think I donated $15 at one time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. O3 USMC said it's starting. Yeah, starting. And I think we're well on the way. Smith said, imagine if Joe investigated when. Well, let's see. Yeah, let's investigate it. Let's see what they come up with. It'll be nothing.
Well, let's focus on India and Pakistan because, I mean, the Obama-backed Chinese factory in was illegally operating anyway. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
That's okay. Well, let's talk about earnings miss from Pepsi-Cola. Now, Pepsi, I don't know that I can't remember they had an earnings miss. I mean, for goodness sake, it's flavored sugar water, and yet every freaking time they're meeting their goals. I think that's what when Steve Jobs went to the head of, I think it was Coke at the time, the CEO said, "Hey, come over here to make a difference." And he said, "Do you really want to sell sugar to your life?" And I think once people are getting more awake to the things that are happening in terms of our food supply and so forth, I think we're going to be seeing Pepsi-Cola and so forth missing earnings on a regular basis. Now, I could be wrong, but my guess is, James, what do you think? You shaking your head.
Oh, I got a lot to input. So Pepsi-Cola's dropped, and this is just for Q1 of 2025, by 1.8%, down to $17.9 billion. They blame this on tariff uncertainties, consumer weakness, weight loss drugs impact demand, and the biggest of all so far that has not been, that has probably not taken effect, is the SNAP benefits that RFK Jr. No more Pepsi, no more Coca-Cola products. That's huge in the SNAP business.
Yeah.
So although Coca-Cola hasn't released their statement yet, it's usually the same or greater. And I think you're going to see this probably up to 20%, not just 1.8.
Right. No, I would agree.
Time out. Everybody go look at the guest list in the room. The real Alex Pro has joined us today. Come on up and talk with us.
Oh my gosh, seriously, is he there?
Oh yeah. I even just dipshit an invite. Come on up.
Oh yeah, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
I know, it's Friday. Hey, Traveler's here. Traveler, thank you for all the gifts. It's appreciated. Mama Soprano is here. She said, do you use a different account for Daily Dispatch? No. Mama Soprano and everyone else. My only legitimate account on TikTok is Sam_Shalhoub. That's it account on TikTok. Every other platform, Facebook, YouTube, X, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble is Sam Shalhoub. And X, it's Shalhoub Sam. So no, Mama, I do not have another. There are, I can't even tell you how many fake accounts, but no, that is not me. Just so you know. Wow, we've got Traveler, Burr 549. The only the Schwoglers, Mama Soprano, Toey Bixby, Traveler, a whole bunch of gifts. Thank you, everybody. That's really sweet. Doherty sent some gifts. Mama Soprano sent gifts. U.S. Star sent gifts. And Hokey Gigi. Thank you, Hoke.
a quick reminder for everybody. Sam, myself, Mega Dave, Interstate, Dark Horse, we're not going to send you Ms. We're not going to ask you to join QFS Network to protect your income. We're not. If you message us, we'll respond. Follow each of the panelists, and you'll know you have the right account. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, very well stated, Alex. All right, so Share Baby Twin impersonation is the best type of flattery. Well, I guess so. Thanks, Share Baby. John Doherty, again, more gifts. Mrs. Deadpool is just on a deadbeat run trying to get us to dance. She's just like, if you're not tapping, you're napping. She's on top of it. Actually, Blondie said yesterday as well.
I'm just going to go ahead and cue up the song so everybody keep tapping.
Yeah, Donna Fox and Gwen, thank you for the donuts. We do have a daily goal going today. It's because it's Friday. Gotta have donuts on Friday, right?
And I said, if you'll hit that, she'll end up coming back behind me and doing the YMCA with us.
Who?
She did it yet, Miss Pool.
Oh, that's right.
My wife.
I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, she was doing it yesterday. So
Okay. Then if we get to 50,000, she's got to come out there and dance with you.
she will.
All right. Good.
In the big box.
What's that?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So, completely lost my train of thought. There was that shiny object again. Jeez.
You're right, girl.
Back to the daily dispatch.
Okay, there we go. Jeez. See what happens, you guys? 62 years old. That's what happens. Yeah. All right. So, according to the Gateway Pundit, European leaders rejected the U.S. proposal of Russian sovereignty over Crimea, despite Russia controlling the region for the last 10 years. Now, Dave, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's definitely interesting. That's another one of the back burner, and see how it plays out.
Yeah, I would agree. James?
Yeah.
Zero here, boss.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it other than if they've had control that long, it's got to be in just another bargaining chip at this point. Adam, what do you think?
There's debate over Crimea and whether it was, if it actually did separate from Russia or if it didn't. I know that.
Oh, it must be Friday. It's got to be Friday. Alex is on a roll. He's got his hat showing and hat going.
Oh, yep.
Oh, that's right. We haven't made the announcement about my tattoo recently, Alex. You want to, everyone?
If we can get Sam to 250,000 TikTok followers, Sam has agreed to go get his first tattoo of an American flag with stream. Just saying, it'd be totally worth it.
So share this live out.
We'll get Sam some ink.
Yeah, exactly. So we have, Cindy and Benji 1959. Thank you for the gifts. Lisa Maria said, Mrs. Deadpool, following you and your husband is awesome. That's so sweet. John Gwynn said, definitely. Subi Q, TGF, everyone. Same to you, Subi Q. 29 said, I love it, Alex. Good job. Just Monet is here. Good morning. Oh, Subi Q said, tats. I like that. Let's go. Exactly. All right. So, oh, and Justin Nanette, thank you for the gifts. All right, let's see what we've got going over here. Oh, and also, guys, keep an eye out for Julian, Dr. Neil. Supposed to be coming in around I think. Anyway.
There he is. I've been watching. He's here.
He's here?
Yes, sir.
Let's see if we can get him on this time. Julian, if you're seeing us, did you send him the invite?
I did.
Okay. Well, let's see if he can make it happen this time. Now, remember, I hope you're on the app on your phone. We talked about it after you and I discussed it, Alex.
Yeah, down at the bottom, you'll see the microphone and you'll see guests. And if you click that, you should be able to accept if it didn't pop up on your screen.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's see here. Let me get caught up a little bit here. Allie Mae is here. Oh, my goodness. Hello, Allie. We haven't seen you forever. I hope all is well. Is she the reason for the hat today, Alex?
I can neither confirm or deny.
Exactly. All right, so let's move over to the U.S. Tariff revenue rises 60% to the $15 billion in April, all-time high. Now, I had a viewer earlier today respond to the Daily Dispatch and ask, what do you think the tariffs money is going to be used for? My opinion is it'll be used to pay for the government, right? Circumventing income tax and moving us into a tariff-based economy. Alex, give me your thoughts on that.
Well, yes, I agree. When we look at the amount that, say, for example, Harvard, I think their endowment is $7 million per student.
Wow.
And they're still receiving federal money. What would each and every one of us do with $500,000? Like,
yeah.
What does that look like when we go through it up? Transparency, accountability, we find where the pennies and the receipts are going, and then we have this surplus to put somewhere that it gains some more value, whether that's crypto or gold or the sovereign wealth generating interest. That interest payment then goes back. You live in Alaska. Alaska generates so much revenue off of their natural resources. If you're a citizen of the state, you get a refund every year from the state if you don't owe taxes, right? But they divvy that back to the people, and I think that's where we're headed. Should we get there to a point where if you make less than $150,000 a year, no taxes, what would each of you do with $8,000, $10,000 additional income every year? What happens to 150 to 300 are the next ones that say, hey, you don't have to pay taxes either. And that stair steps, because as that wealth starts to generate, what are they going to do with it? Sit on it? Because they're certainly not going to be divvying it out to their politician buddies and their family members anymore.
Right, exactly. Dave?
I think that's the plan for Canada too. Wouldn't that make sense to polish that stone a little bit with that way for the Canadian people?
Yep. James?
Well, when you talk $37 trillion in debt, you can throw a dart just about anywhere. But in response to Alex talking about $2.2 billion got cut by President Trump for the fact of the anti-Semitism in Harvard. So wherever they decide to throw the dart, wherever that money goes, we have money coming not only from tariffs, Doge. You got to take into account unrealized monies here too. I mean, with 37, you could put it just about anywhere. It's going to take a long time in the billions. When it comes true, you come talk to me about, where is it going to really go?
Right.
But it's a small change,
Yeah. Exactly.
I think what you're watching here really is kind of multiple levers on balancing budget. I mean, instead of this, I mean, you got to wait on Congress for everything. It's going to take forever. But between balancing that budget, bringing it down, making it to where you look at, you replace it because the has already been out there before. We've had that. That's what happened prior to 1913. Then if you take that and institute with one, you got balanced budget. Two, you equalize out the currencies. Three, you got income coming in, and four, if you can replace the income tax with a consumption. So on any new goods or services, you could have a flyer that would completely replace all of this, and that's where I see that he's going with it.
Well, and you said it takes Congress forever to move. Well, in continuity of government or devolution, that changes that whole perspective. Congress, the integral portion of what people think it is, what it was designed to be. If we are in that interim of government, that would be a whole different story. But I agree with you.
The common misconception is that taxes are what pay for everything. No, that's not true. That's not accurate. It's what pays for our government.
What is going to pay for it, or what is now?
What is now?
Probably the value of the U.S. dollar being circumvent all around the world. That's what kept propped us up.
Bonds and treasuries. That's our government.
Which is the dollar.
Which is what makes the world go round, not taxes, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. We would have been bankrupt a long time ago if we were not the world's reserve currency. 100%, I agree. Rob777, thank you for all the gifts. Wendy agrees. She says yes. Joey Bixby and James Kaiser, thank you for the gifts. It's appreciated. We have Jerry BR549 said the U.S. needs to get back goods here. Well, and that's a very good point, and that's what President's trying to do. We're bringing manufacturing back. Hey, Barbie made it. Good morning, Barbie. Glad you could make it.
Hey, Harrison, what buddies can do?
What's up?
Steal them, trolls.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. Lisa Maria said, every zero every day here again. We impose you listen and learn.
Dr. Neal's here.
Oh, did he come on?
He said, you missed my text. I'm here.
Hey!
Oh, my God. He did it.
Holy cow.
Can you turn on your camera? Will it let you, Doc?
Yeah, there we go.
You have to click the camera in the.
Hey! I can't believe it. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Welcome.
Tech dinosaur.
So were you seeing it this invitation or what?
I saw everything so here I am.
Well, I'm so glad you made it, Doc. So everyone, I want everyone to introduce you to Dr. Julian Neal, a man among men, closest friends for many years. Doc, this is Alex, Dave, James, Adam. And tell everybody a little bit, Doc. We're going to step away from the dispatch just for a while you're on here. Tell a little bit about who you are, where you come from, what your background is, Doc.
It's great to see you all, and thanks for having me on, Sam. I'm a psychoanalyst and a naturopathic doctor, and I've taught yoga and meditation for years. So I don't separate mind, body, and spirit. I began in oncology and then became a naturopath to do the physical work with my cancer patients. I still work with cancer patients. I used to run a cancer foundation. And as I say, gave a life 41 years ago, went into an ashram for a year, became a yoga master, if you will, and added that to my arsenal to do mind, body, spirit work.
Yeah, I mean, and that is a mouthful. And I can't tell everybody at home how many times I have called Neal because we're friends, and I've laid my heart bare to him, and he's always been encouraging, uplifting, kind, loving. I can't say enough good things about this man, and I'm so your friendship. I'm grateful that you made it onto the Daily Dispatch Live, Doc. Wow.
Thanks. You know, we've done it, but only on voice. So today we're on picture, which is great. And, you know, I love watching you guys. I learn a lot every day
Yeah.
from you guys. So,
Well, Doc, you have got so many people in here. Lisa, Donna Fox, Toey Bixby, John Gwynn, Wendy, Mrs. Deadpool. So many people saying hi and welcome. They're so glad they've heard me talk about you so many times. I probably get redundant, but it means a lot to me. So,
well, me too. So,
Yeah.
Everybody can show your support for Neil by clicking the follow button for him.
yeah, go ahead, Alex.
The content that he has to the world is very valuable.
Very much so. Very much so. Kitty is over on X and on Facebook. Well, so Doc, tell everybody about, you know, you and I share a lot of common ground, one of which
right.
is health and wellness. Now, I promote your hair care products every day. You're one of our main sponsors. There have been so many people reaching out to me about what it is that makes Neil Naturopathic different. And I always talk about the combination of nutritional deficiency and toxicity. And
Right.
toxicity is, you can't avoid it in an industrialized society, but there are so many ways to deal with it. And that, tell people how Neil Naturopathic came about in terms of the cancer patients, and then where it's at today, if you would.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, all or most commercial cosmetic products are carcinogenic. And so when I began my work with cancer patients, I realized that the shampoos and conditioners, just as a place to start, hair oils, all these types of things, everything on our body is absorbed by the skin immediately. The skin, if you put a hair and essential oil on your ankle, it'll show up hair analysis 15 minutes later. So when we put toxic chemicals on our head, especially, that gets absorbed right away into the body, of course, into the brain. And the skin also secretes at minimum 2 pounds of waste material every day, minimum 2 pounds. So the hair, which has sebum as well as other defying products or that we secrete, is on the hair and scalp. So it's important, I always say, to wash the hair every day. So I had to create my own products for my cancer patients. And, eventually now, 30 some odd years later, I've now been able to offer it to the public. But they're different because they're 100% from nature. Everything in it is 100% from nature. And if you want to take care of your hair and your scalp, it's just a metaphor for all things. You have to treat it like a plant. If you want a plant to flourish, you have to take care of the soil and the roots. And if you want your hair to flourish, you have to take care of the hair, root, and the scalp. And of course, the hair. Most products on the market, they'll either do something with your hair or they're designed to do with the scalp. If you have, psoriasis, eczema, dandruff, any of these kind of issues, but you need to do all of it. And so my products are designed to work with the hair root, the scalp, and itself. And so hair is an extension of your nervous system. The same nutritional profile that grows your hair, takes care of your scalp, also does your skin, your bones, your teeth, and most important, your nervous system. And so, again, hair, if you were to take the old experiment of a balloon on your chest or your shirt and then put it near your hair, the staticity would make that hair move because, again, it is an extension of the nervous system. It has, which is the feeling element of the body and the main mineral that runs the nervous system.
Excellent, excellent. And you developed this initial for patients, right, Doc?
Right. This was for my cancer patients. And, I left that foundation 20 years ago to be the health director of an international child development organization working mostly with special kids, brain injured, brain damaged kids. And they too had a lot of environmental sensitivities. The autistic kids especially were very sensitive to products. So the combinations to types of patients help me develop these to the degree that I have. So there are 2 shampoos. There's one, if you do have issues like psoriasis, dandruff, or just your hair is falling out, things like that, then there's the root and scalp formula, the Medina formula, and then there's the acceleration formula, which is a growth formula. That's for normal scalps. Always tell people it's really best to use them both, sort of one scalp prophylactically, 1 or 2 times a day, a week, and the acceleration the rest of the times. Your hair is the dirtiest places on your body. And so it needs to be washed every day, but you can't do that with commercial shampoos because the harsh detergents and chemicals, the healthy sebaceous oils, which act as a protection, antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal, that coat the hair. And so you need a product line that's gentle enough to cleanse, but also, strong enough to cleanse, but gentle enough so that it can be used daily.
Right. You had mentioned to me that there was a large company that was thinking about purchasing your company, and I'm kind of glad that it didn't happen, because my guess would be that they would take it and they put it on a shelf and not let anybody have it, just like they've done with so many other inventions over the years. So I want to go around and ask each person on the panel here if you have a question for Dr. Neal. Have it. Alex, you go first.
Well, given your background and the amount of appreciation I have from the direction that you've taken with your
Thank you, Alex.
and those things, feel about the MAHA movement and JFK coming in, RFK coming in to really clean up the toxins and those things.
I couldn't be happier. I was always a supporter of Kennedy. And so when he decided not to run, but to work with Trump, I was thrilled, because we need someone like that who's going to focus on just what he's doing right now. The toxins that are in food, and again, making our population sick. It pains me, to see how the food industry, the cosmetic industry, whatever, all of these things were just filling us with chemicals all the time. So even when you eat organically, you have to be very careful, because even that, they get away with things. They say it's organic, they say it's natural, but it's not in the true sense of the word.
Right.
So I'm thrilled that he's there and going after the fact that he's talking about autism and looking at, again, I've run this foundation, I'm jumping, but for 20 years, and, all this stuff about that, I know this is controversial, but so many of, our clients have developed, whether it's the vaccine has stimulated something to create that or enabled that, but as a result of that, they become, this is what the parents, see from clients, from these vaccines. So also that he's looking at those chemicals and preservatives, the thimerosal and the other mercury that's in those things to work on getting these out of the things we're putting on our body, putting in our body, and certainly injecting into our bodies.
Very well stated, Doc. Do you have a question for Dr. Neal?
There was a couple ways I wanted to go about this. I'm a farmer located in Iowa, and we use non-GMO corn and soybeans and stuff like that. Were you talking about what RFK, and there's few guys worried. we make our yield. This is how we make our money. And I know it's a stepping stone. And I think they'll pull the rug out from under us at low rate, stepping stones from there. And it's a good thing because obviously all that probably hurting us in the long run. Like talking about vaccines a little bit, what is crucial on the one that gave some people in 20 to get out of the blood, the heavy metals, and what do you do to solve that problem?
Well, far infrared saunas are really good for drawing heavy metals out of the body. I have a protocol that I use for my patients, both with homeopathics, also things like chlorella. There's a product that Dr. Cass makes, Aperture Energetics, that's Metachlor. This is a supplement that helps pull some of those toxins out. We also have the nervous system. That injection, I many vaccine injured patients, and the clotting factor that happens, the effect on the nervous system, people going into twitching and involuntary responses. So again, detoxification is so important. Every cell of your body, four things. It needs fresh hydration, fresh nutrients, fresh oxygen, and you must remove the waste. And again, I say this about my hair products. I have bentonite edible clay in all my products, and that is the part that, again, the products hydrate, nutrify, oxygenate, and remove the waste. And so again, a metaphor for what we have to do with the body all.
Right.
And as a follow-up, was there one tree that you seen was more, or did it hurt individuals the same across the board?
I think it hurt different people in different ways. The most powerful thing, the thing we deal with in naturopathic medicine is twofold. One is genetics, and the other is stress. And as genetics are the most powerful thing. There's nothing truly as powerful as genetics. But having said that, my experience is, certainly from the special needs kids, that we can offset genetic influence. We can't change genetics, but we can offset the influence, and that's powerful.
Like genetics, Doc?
Huh?
Like epigenetics?
Yes.
Okay.
Going back to, the question is, so it affects different people in different ways based upon their genetics.
Excellent.
Okay. Thank you.
James?
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Doctor. I want to thank you for everything that you've done. Any man or woman that dedicates their life to the betterment of society is somebody that's top notch in my book.
Thank you. I appreciate your kindness.
In regard to body and spirit, in your practice and with treatment of patients, which of those three do you find that your patients respond to the best to? Mind, body, or spirit?
Well, again, that's a good question. I think the physical world is a metaphor for what happens to emotionally and, most importantly, spiritually. And why I say that is Einstein, I'm a big follower and believer in, and he said, and let me jump for a second, every atom of your body is 9.99999% air, space, energy, and it's only 0.0001% matter. So Einstein said, we are just spirits reduced to the point of visibility, because essentially all that's happening is these atoms, which are mostly, air, energy, are just vibrating at a frequency so that we can see. That's what he's saying. And so when I talk spirituality, I really believe in a spiritual practice. Sometimes religious, the individual can have his own, but believer in the, whether you call it God or universe, it doesn't matter to me. but the idea is that whatever is vibrating the universe, we need to vibrate at that same frequency. Every mantra, if you will, every prayer, no matter what religion, says, can we vibrate the same frequency as God or as the universe? So ultimately, being able to align the body through, and emotions are energy, in motion. So once again, we're talking the spiritual, emotional things that are then manifest on the physical plane. So to get back to the question, I would say ultimately how you manage that energy. In Buddhism, we say everything is mind, and ultimately everything is mind. And so how you regulate your life, your physical body, and your emotional body will, of course, then create that spiritual body. We have an aura, an electromagnetic field, 9 feet in every direction. And so we strengthen that, a lot of doubts, a lot of fears, that shrinks our aura or that electromagnetic field. So again, you can eat, this goes to the say genetics, the other is stress. I could put people on, for example, of the 4 things that go wrong with the human body, and there are only 4. One of them is over acidity. So I can put somebody on the most alkaline diet, and if I can't help them to handle how that energy moves up the body, it moves in 7 sections of the gland points of the body. We call them chakras in yoga. Shut that energy down in what's called body armor. And so they also correspond closely to the chakras. They differ in the head area. Instead of the pituitary gland, we have the ocular and vocal region. But otherwise, it's on track: thoracic, chest, abdominal, pelvic, legs. Your heart center holds murderous rage, deep, long, extreme sorrow, extreme joy, all the heavy stuff. And that's where your thymus gland is, the number 1 gland for your immune system. So again, how you breathe and how you handle that energy will influence that body. And so again, I don't separate those 3 things. So they're saying one, which is more ultimately, it's the spirit in the sense of the full energy of the body, but we have to take care of it on those 2 levels.
Okay, Adam, before we get to you, Doc, there's a lot of people in the chat asking what the discount code is, what the website is. Alex, if you would type in neilnaturopathic.com, and the discount code is SAM20, huh?
Yeah,
SAM20.
I typed in several times. If everybody goes to Scoop.com, there is a link on Sam's page to Neil's products.
Yeah, either way, it's fine. I'm sorry, Adam, go ahead.
No, you're fine. No, again, first of all, Dr. Neil, thank you for taking the time. Appreciate it. All I can say at this point is, first of all, I'm going to echo what James said. Anybody that's there for the betterment of mankind at this point is top in my book right now. I wish I would have found you 12 years ago, because I got to go through the battle with my mom, leukemia, and I knew me then. So, and to study a lot of things that you even said here today, I brought along, but I wish that I could have found you 12 years ago. But and there's a lot that I've seen and I've studied, and for Sam to be gracious enough to bring you on, I'm very grateful for it. I know I can tell that the audience today is just the same.
Thank you for your kind words.
Yeah, there's not much more that I can really ask, because the gentleman before me took the thunder, as James would say. But I will say this much: the fact that we're at a point in society now to where someone like yourself, there was a time when it would have been a death warrant. The fact that we can now have these conversations is an amazing feat that we've even come this far. So I'm very grateful.
Thank you. Again, when I started 45 years ago, we couldn't, you're right, couldn't have these conversations. The medical profession, especially with cancer, was coming after me all the time. But to tell you the truth, I'm worried about it even today. It's illegal for me to tell people not to take the shots, so to speak. You know what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't tell people not to take it. So all I can do is talk about my experience and unfortunately deal with what, many people have not seen adverse effects, which is great, but it is my colleagues and myself, we get together and talk about it all. And, going back to the question of how do we fix it, because unfortunately the mRNA, so the body is ongoing all the time. So it's producing, it's making the immune system work even when it doesn't need to. It's like running your car in overdrive all the time. And that becomes a problem too.
Right. So, Doc, we've had Deborah Dodd-Wade, John Gwynn, Tully, Agape Rescues Children, Stacy, Nanner, Deborah, KCMG, every single, hold on. Oh, no, it's giving me one of those. Hold on, everybody.
While you're figuring the puzzle piece, Dr. Neal,
Yeah.
I first, you're a brother from another mother. We think so much alike, and I owe to my uncle, and he's a Reiki master, yoga master.
Oh, great.
In the metaphysical world, and that really set me on a path of mental clarity and meditation. I teach a meditation class, and so in the world of energetics and understanding how our chakras work, and how important do you feel in the steps of getting yourself to a state of health? How important is it to find that calmness, the energy of love internally, to be able to expand that around us of peace and mental clarity and the what am I trying to say? Starting internally, having that de-stress environment. How important is it to the functions of the body to limit your exposure to stress?
It's a great question. Actually, it is the one essential thing. I encourage every patient, no matter what is happening, to get in a practice meditation. And, William James, the American philosopher, always says the only thing, the best antidote to stress is the ability to choose one thought over another. And therefore, the only, and I've taught and studied all of, and the only practice that I've ever that trains us to choose one thought over the other is meditation. So the fact that you're doing that, fantastic. People need to work with you more. I don't care if you start with 3 minutes. I have a patient in New York, or he's still my patient, but he started, he had a certain fear, phobia, and I said, well, how long, he somewhat practiced meditation, but he was telling me he was in a cab, and I went, no. Let's, you have to take time to actually do it. How long? Can you do 7 minutes? Can you do 5 minutes? 3? That's all he said he could do. And I said, you don't have 10 minutes. You don't have a life, But I went, okay, if that's all you have is 3 minutes, then let's do this, 3 minutes. And now he's worked a lot of that phobia. He's meditating every day for much longer time. He, just by doing it, has found the value. So great. I encourage everyone, to work with you and to practice that daily.
I can sit and solve the problems of the world with you all day, sir. It's much a blessing for Sam to connect us with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Okay, everybody, we're going to let Dr. Neil go. He's graced us with his presence for a long time, and Doc, I'm shit above it. But again, tell everybody where they can find you, and everybody on TikTok, go over to Neil Naturopathic and give Doc a follow on his TikTok account. Tell everyone where they can find your shampoo and discount codes are.
Okay, so Neil Naturopathic, Neil Naturopathic, NaturoPathic.com, neilnaturopathic.com. The discount code is SAM in capital letters, SAM20, and that'll get you 20% off. And then, if you want to discuss anything, send an email to info@neilnaturopathic.com and it will get to me, and I'm happy to help you in any way I can.
The patriots and the followers and the link. Every day that we get Sam to 50,000 likes to the YMCA dance, and the people in the chat are requesting that you join us today for that.
Oh, if I have to dance, that's going to be a problem. No, nobody gets to see me dance.
All right.
I'm not like other people.
Okay.
It's like singing, but I appreciate the request, and I just know I'm there. It's fair.
All right, Doc. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to be doing a health and wellness live broadcast in the next couple of weeks. I'll let you know when that's going to be happening. There's going to be a lot of interaction with Dr. Pat Militek. There's a lot of people coming on with that, and we'd like you to be part of that if possible.
I'd love to. Be my honor.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks again, Doc, and have a wonderful day. Love you, and we'll talk soon.
You too. All right. Thank you.
Oh, you got it, Doc? Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure whether he was going to be able to turn that off or not, given all the challenges we had. All right, everybody. So we're just going to call that the end of we want the rest of the dispatch. We've done quite a bit. We've had everybody's attention for a long time. We've got over 60,000 likes, and we are going to be putting Dark Horse's wife up with us as we dance. She better not back out now, Adam.
Oh, no. She won't.
All right, so let's get it going, Alex.
She won't.
What?
Oh, she just. Where'd you go?
She ran and hid.
Better not.
No, look, over her.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there she is. Okay. All right, let's kick it. Let's kick the tires and light the fires.
I'm waiting for the app to open. You guys are so impatient with your IT.
Yeah, no kidding.
Call the IT.
Yeah, exactly. And I did see that in the chat multiple times. I just didn't want to interrupt Dr. Dr. Neil.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
Oh no.
All right. Good job, everybody. That was great. You do have rhythm, Adam.
Oh no, I don't. Even little man joined in for a quick second.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
Come here.
Hi there. Hi. All right, so let's get to final thoughts. Adam, why don't you lead us off?
Oh, actually, go to Alex real quick. I gotta pull mine up.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm live.
Dave.
I appreciate everybody joining. I was with the doctor today, and that hope that helps everybody out and get some more info. But exciting. Don't on the weekend. Trump always sleeps 4 hours a night, whether it's the weekend or the weekday. So some exciting stuff is coming down the chute, no doubt about it.
Agree. 100%. James.
Well, as the doctor said, the positive aura that we create and since it radiates from our body, I think this weekend with all the positive things that are happening, I think personally, I'm going to radiate about 35 feet. Just so you know.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great live. Everybody here, the comments were great. Dr. Neal is definitely an exceptional individual.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him on again.
No question. Adam.
All righty, here we go. Fifth Amendment. No person be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a crime, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be for the same offense to be twice put in jail for life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation.
Excellent. Thank you, Adam. I love that series you're doing. Alex?
If everyone wants to get proof that our energy absolutely affects the world around us, there is a doctor out of Japan, Dr. Emoto.
Yes.
And if you look up Dr. Emoto water experiments, you will find the proof that you're looking for. And I've talked about it multiple times on this show. Taking time every day to just be still and be present does worlds of good for your health, for your mental health, for your physical health, for your relationships, for your money, for your business. You can't do yourself a bigger favor, and that's why I asked Dr. Neal that question. I knew what his answer was going to be.
Yeah.
Take the time. If you go to Alzheimer.life, L-I-F-E, there's a meditation tab there. Contact me. My book is available on Amazon. It's not expensive. It's an easy read. It's
Show them the book.
Beginner's Guide to a Life-Changing Meditation, The Easy Road.
Yeah, and if you would type it in the chat too, Alex, we can grab it.
That's the cover right there. And you can, if you just Google, The Easy Road to a Mind, the first link that pops up. The most important thing you can do for yourself, your family, your business, your money is learn to just take some time for yourself, be still, and be present. And as we go into the weekend, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Sam, thank you. Adam, thank you. Interstate, thank you. And Dave, thank you. All of you, thank you so much. I am still surprised, though, that James did not ask Dr. Neal about how to get those eyebrows to grow back.
I knew you were going to go there.
Exactly. Well, guys, I couldn't say it any better. Everybody at home, thank you for being here with us. As we've all said, we wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for you. And as you're enjoying the weekend, as you're enjoying your loved ones, remember that the best is yet to come. So thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you on Monday.